Somehow, some way, the Raptors were able to get over the line. A huge block by Brandon Ingram when Kalkbrenner was about to tie the game. And then an even huger block by Scottie Barnes on Colin Sexton as he was about to tie the game. Unbelievable scene for the Raptors. They left it late, but they got through in the clutch, a showcase of the resiliency of the team. There is some bad to discuss, but man, what a win for this Raptors team. Let's try and make sense of it all, break it down for you in this post-game recap. All right, well, few things about this game. Number one, when you're coming into tonight, Raptors 8-point favorites over the Hornets, back home after the road trip. These types of games, certainly you got to say, these are the type of games that playoffs teams got to win because you're the better team, you're at home. These are the type of games you got to take care of if you want to go and run and make the playoffs, all that. Right? Then, you come into the game, you're not playing your best, you're a little flat, things aren't quite going your way. Good teams figure it out and find ways to win. And then you get to the clutch. Good teams find ways to win more often than not in the clutch. And as much as it wasn't a fantastic performance by the Raptors, sometimes you win ugly. And sometimes good teams find ways to win ugly. And my goodness, did the Raptors find a way to win that game. 7-0 run late in the game by the Hornets. Just when it looked like the Raptors were going to pull away. Late 7-0 run by the Hornets to take the lead. Raptors had to fight. They got their stops. They got their tough makes. Amazing sequence to end the game. Brandon Ingram, as the game is tied, heavy double comes his way. Somehow finds Barrett cutting to the rim, who makes a nice finish, take the 2-point lead. Twice, the Hornets, what looked like they're about to tie it. Kalkbrenner right under the rim. Rejected by Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram of all players. Ensuing inbound. A miss by Bridges. Ball spills out to Sexton. Wide open layup, as at least it looked like it. Barnes with a chase down block, essentially. Behind the back. Slams it down. Zeros on the clock when it touches the floor. The Raptors win 110-108. Let's hit the winning sound once again. What a relieving win for the Raptors. I mean, even like a minute before, the Hornets were up 2. Bridges had a wide open 3 to pretty much ice the game, go up by 5. And he missed, and the Raptors again. They just get over the line, and it felt like all of last season. This was the type of game all of last season that the Raptors would find a way to lose. But maybe this year is a little bit different because they were able to just somehow find a way to win. If you guys are hyped up for the Raptors win, enjoying the content, smash that like button. Let's go. It's great that we get to be excited about this team and we get to sweat wins like this. It's even better when we can do it together in content like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do watch-alongs for almost every Raptors game. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Raptors Happy Hour. But let's peel back a little bit. Let's kind of go back a little bit. Let's look at this game as a whole, not in a vacuum. All that great stuff in the clutch, absolutely fantastic. But let's take a step back because in the end, probably shouldn't have had to sweat that hard in this game to beat the Hornets. It was a pretty sloppy game overall by the Raptors, unfortunately. And ignore that. First half, it was pretty marred our first half performance. We were decent. It was really taken over by the amount of turnovers the Raptors committed. And in the end, they commit 17 turnovers in this game. That's too much. And the Hornets, credit to them, did a great job of punishing those turnovers. We celebrate new subscriber Tukey. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Amateur Army. 17 turnovers to 16 by Charlotte. Another new sub. Usopp has subscribed. Welcome to the Amateur Army. Thank you guys. Appreciate it so much. 17 turnovers by the Raptors to 16 by the Hornets. But the Hornets scored 17 off of our 17 turnovers. We only scored 7 off their 16 turnovers. Typically, that's where the Raptors like to excel in the full court game, turning defense into offense. But that wasn't the case here today. And they were really punished in the glass in the second half. At the end of the first half, the offensive rebound numbers were 6-6. At the end of the second half, it's 14-8 in favor of Charlotte. So Charlotte really dominated getting in the extra possessions there and did much better with the extra possessions in the turnover categories. So even though they shot worse, 43% from the field to our 50, 25% from 3 to our 40, they were able to stay in this game and nearly snatched it. Absolutely nearly snatched it. Could have definitely gone worse. And part of the problem I see here, it's a little bit frustrating that this is kind of continuing here. I don't know if it's ready to make a change yet, but I was kind of hinting at it. The Raptors starters this season, individually, they've all been great. Quickly has started slowly, but he's coming on a lot better now. Individually, they've all put up really good numbers this season. As a unit, though, they haven't been very good. They have coming into tonight, they had a negative net rating. And based on what I saw tonight, I'm going to assume it was negative for them as a 5 on the floor. Regardless, it hasn't been great as a starting unit this season. And they started poorly again today. And it's just you just have to think, it's something to think about. You're closing games like this and you're starting games like this. You're starting your games without getting a running start. And then you're having to really adjust, get your subs in, and then start to build the momentum. There certainly needs to be a conversation, not action yet, but a conversation about if this starting 5 should continue to be the starting 5. The minutes distribution needs to still be the same. I still want to see all 5 of these guys getting 30-plus minutes, even if they're not starting. But a conversation certainly needs to be had about whether this is the most effective way to run this team. You could definitely make a case that RJ Barrett comes out, Grady Dick comes in. Grady Dick individually hasn't been sensational this season. He was good tonight, but Grady Dick has been really good. The Raptors have been really good in the Grady Dick minutes this season. Something to think about. Something to certainly think about. As for closing the game, I think that's your best 5, and I think you run with that no matter what. I'm okay with that. However, if there is 14 seconds left on the clock and you're playing defense and you're up by 2, I probably get my best defenders in because Murray Boyles is very good defense. I'd probably have him in instead of RJ Barrett. I mean, you saw the last possession of the game. They went to Bridges because RJ Barrett was guarding him. Granted, he did a decent job, but I just feel like, last possession of the game, get my best defenders, best rebounders in there. Anyways, that's being a little picky. The starting stuff does actually kind of make me think, does something need to change? Let's get a larger sample before we make a drastic decision like that, like taking RJ Barrett out of the starting 5, especially RJ Barrett, who's played well this season, but something to think about. So, really, it just felt a little nonchalant and casual, and Charlotte were good enough tonight to be able to punish us. Where Brooklyn last week, when we kind of started slow, kind of felt like the Raptors weren't quite kicking into gear in the game. They didn't make us pay. Today, the Hornets were able to nearly make us pay. Con Knippel, 9 of 16, 24 points. He was terrific. 4 of 10 from 3. LaMelo did enough in the bigger moments with his 20 points. Sexton was pretty good off the bench. The Raptors, it was all okay, but not quite to the level we needed, except for Brandon Ingram late game. Didn't have a great first half. Had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Brandon Ingram only won the rest of the game and is 9 of 21, 27 points, 2 steals, 3 blocks. That huge block at the end of the game to keep the Raptors in the lead as well. These are the type of games when you're struggling and you need someone to get you tough shots. These are the types of games you traded for Brandon Ingram for. This is why. Because if you don't have Brandon Ingram, I'm not sure the Raptors win this game today. Because he was hitting so many tough shots in those big moments. And in the last play of the game for the Raptors on offense, he was able to take so much focus from the defense. It gave RJ Barrett a wide open lane to cut. A terrific pass got him the ball to get the Raptors to win. These are the games you got Brandon Ingram for. This is a showcase of exactly that. RJ Barrett, rough first half, better second half, 16 points. Barnes, 16, 6, and 6. Not his greatest night, but still a good night. Pirtle, 13 points, 9 rebounds. Solid as ever. Quickly had some big shots and big moments. 3 of 8 from 3, 6 of 11 from the field, 15 points. I'm okay with that. Not the typical type of impact to get off the bench, but again, Grady Dick, 10 points plus 6 minutes. The Raptors continue to win the Grady Dick minutes, which again raises the question if something potentially does need to change for the starting 5. Not the minutes. I'm not saying play Grady Dick 30 minutes, RJ down to 20. Keep the minutes. But the way the lineups have been run, the Raptors are better as they're starting to intertwine their starting players and stagger them in with the bench. That is where the Raptors have been at their best. The starting 5 is not quite clicked. It's worth more time to invest to see if they will, but just something to think about going forward. Overall, learning curve, can't come into these games flat, can't be making those sloppy mistakes, making those turnovers, can't give a team like the Hornets, like in the NBA, every team is good. you give them an opportunity, they might be able to make you pay and win the game. And we almost were made to pay tonight, but a really good way of really good showcase of resiliency and a really good showcase of character to be able to come through and win that game in the clutch. So often those clutch moments go begging for the Raptors, and having a player like Brandon, again, this is why you traded for him. Everyone stepped up on defense as well. Some huge plays from so many players. Oh, man. Gassed up right now. If scores around the league went our way, let's see how far the Raptors can go. The Cleveland Cavaliers have won. The New York Knicks have lost. The Toronto Raptors are officially the 3 seed. The 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Raptors fans, you're going to bed tonight and waking up in the morning with the Toronto Raptors top 3 in the NBA's Eastern Conference. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good to me.